planners and bullet journals, art projects, organized planner sheet.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Organized Planner Chic. I'm Lucinda, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do so and select the bell for notifications. Well, first, I want to thank all my awesome Patreon members who help make it possible to create videos like this. Well, thank you guys so much. And if you're interested in supporting me on Patreon, just go to patreon.com/organizedplannerchic. Okay, you guys, it's summertime and a lot of different things happen or have happened this time of the year for me. The first project I am journaling or junk journaling in right now was the Mother's Day period and the different cards and things that I got and the activities that we did around that month, because I know we're in July now, but I'll get all of the summer stuff all in here before it's all over with. I'll also have our wedding anniversary, my son and my niece who graduated from college, 2 nieces who graduated from high school, and then in June we bought a new house, or sold a house, and then July bought a new house and all that good stuff. So yeah, and there's more things happening this summer. So this card my husband gave me for Mother's Day, and what I did is I just separated the layers, because generally when you get a card, if it's pretty decorative, there's usually a back layer just making it thicker, and sometimes especially if you have things popping out of it, and I just separated that back part, and I'm going to be using that to decorate as well. And now I'm just using my favorite Dollar Tree permanent double-sided tape to adhere this to my junk journal. So I didn't quite think through what I wanted to do here, so my intention was to have it where the part where my husband wrote on the card, I would slide into this part that you're looking at right now, but I forgot not to put double-sided tape on one of the sides, so now I'm pulling that tape up off of it and a little bit kind of in the corner, and then I need to actually cut down the part that had his writing on it so that it will slide into there. But then it's still, I was winding up having to trim too much to make that happen, so I trimmed a little bit here and saw that that wasn't going to work, and then I was going to wind up having to trim way too much. So what I decided to do, because I was going to cut off some of my husband's words, so what I decided to do was just make it a little bit shorter at the top and only have the double-sided tape holding it down on the left and at the bottom, so that it would be, you know, kind of an open pocket. So if you guys hear a little bit of talking in the background, that's my husband. He's in his office, but I can still hear him right now. So you guys might not hear him. It might just be me, but I apologize if that's what you hear. And so I am trimming off the top. I couldn't use a paper trimmer because it was already glued on one side, so I just took a ruler and did a line and trimmed that, and now it just fits in there. And here at this point I decided to round the corners, and also I was thinking that he had some really personal stuff on that card, but it was actually scriptures, and so later on I'm going to flip that around. So now I'm taking the other part, or another part of the card, and I'm just going to make that kind of a flip. So I'm going to fold that. It'll be a nice size kind of little flip card, and it's a little rugged on the end, so I decided to go ahead and trim that up, and then I can glue it on there. But first I wanted to kind of do a different color background, so I'm taking the envelope from another card and I'm just ripping all of the sides off of it, and I'm going to use, I think, this lighter pink side, yeah, as the base of the background for this page, so I won't have a plain white background. And then I'm going to go ahead and use some of the wonderful oh, actually I'm using a glue stick first. I was thinking I'd already glued that down. Yeah, so I need to take my glue stick and put that down, and now I'm going to put some of my Dollar Tree permanent double-sided tape on the bottom part. It really wouldn't matter which side I decided to do, since I hadn't written in the card just yet. So, but I'm just making sure that I don't put tape on the entire piece, but just one half of it so that I can still flip it. Yeah. So there we go. I love this tape, you guys. If you haven't bought it from Dollar Tree, you have to. Now, they don't have the like 1/8 inch. They only have a 1/4 inch of this double-sided tape, but it is so good. It's my favorite. I used to love Terrifically Tacky tape, which is a good tape, and also the Michaels version and the Hobby Lobby version, but they're like $5, $6, almost $6, and even on Amazon they're like $6. And so, yeah, even with the amount, it's still about the same amount because this is a bigger spool or bigger circle of it, and they have a lot smaller circles with it wrapped around the tape. So, yeah, you can't beat $1. So now I'm taking another envelope, and I'm just going to trim that and make it a little mini pocket at the bottom of this spread on the right. So yeah, so that just works out perfectly. I'm going to glue the bottom of it and leave, the top open, but I'm going to kind of round it. So what I wanted to do right here is just mark where I need to trim it. And then the top layer will be kind of an open pocket, and I'll round that corner. And then the bottom of it is what I will glue onto the paper. So yeah, so there's the corner rounder. And I decided to use a glue stick because it's thinner paper. I really only need the double-sided tape on the cardstock parts of the project. So I'm going to put glue all on this envelope, and then I'm going to also put glue on the bottom, the base there. Yeah. And then, yeah. Okay, and I think it's really cute, perfect little size to pop stuff in there, right? So then I had to use my bone folder. I didn't have to, but I like to use my bone folder to really smooth things down and make sure I have good adhesion because this is a glue stick. So yeah, and not some permanent tacky tape. So now this is the Mother's Day card my son gave me, and I'm going to cut out the world's greatest mom part. And my family knows that I cut up the cards that they give me. They try to give me ones that are really decorative because they know I'm going to use it for some type of journaling, and I always keep the part that they wrote words on. So yeah, so I cut that out, and now I'm going to use a different glue from Dollar Tree. That glue stick was from Dollar Tree as well. And this glue is that skinny tube, little skinny white tube with a blue top. You've probably seen it if you shop at Dollar Tree for arts and craft supplies. And it's a really good tacky glue. And so now I'm just going to press that onto the little pocket, and some of it will be hanging down. And I had extra glue, so I'm using my little Dollar Tree glue eraser on that part. And now I have this little flyer from a place where we got vegan cookies. They have vegan cookies and donuts. It's not a strictly vegan restaurant, but all of its donuts are vegan. Yeah, and so yeah, so I cut that out, which I'm going to glue to a piece of a card here in a moment, so that it is nice and strong, like a little pocket card. And then this is the part that my son wrote on, so I'm cutting that around that edge. And then here is where I'm gluing the little piece that I cut out of the flyer from the restaurant with the vegan desserts. And I'm just going to take the glue stick and put that on this little scrap of card that I already ripped the other side off of. Yeah, and so that gives me perfect extra texture to kind of make it like it's a little cardstock card. And then if you put more glue there on the base, then that helps it adhere even better. And then I'm just going to trim that, and that will be a perfect little pop-up card that's representative of what we did on Mother's Day, or one of the things that we did on Mother's Day. And I'm just rounding the corners because it just looks cute, and it's, you don't have to worry about bending the edges whenever it's not straight, because the corners are rounded. And so now I have a scrap of paper, of green paper, that kind of blends with everything, and I'm going to just use that same tube of glue from Dollar Tree and just adhere that to my scrap of green paper. And then that will give it a nice little blend, and it won't look so plain since where he wrote it's all white. It'll just give it a little bit of a pop of color. Yeah, and I'm just making sure I get enough glue around the edges so that I'll have that it'll really adhere there well, and it'll look good. And I'm using my bone folder just to smooth out the edges to help it really adhere a lot better. And my fingers too, because I like to get messy when I craft. Yeah, it's popping up there a little bit at the top, so I'm just smoothing those edges. I love a bone folder. If you don't know, if you're not used to watching my videos, I love, love, love a bone folder. It just really helps everything get smooth, and for glue to stick really well, and double-sided tape to really get that extra pressure on there. And now I'm just cutting around the edge and just giving it just a little bit of a border with a pop of color around this part. I think it's so cute. I just like that color. I like that combination of white and this particular color of green. So yeah, and green's my son's favorite color, so that's cool. So yeah, so now they're just sticking in that pocket right there. And yeah, so eventually I'm going to write something in that little pop-up card at the top. And now I'm going to take a scrap of that envelope that I used earlier. This is the other side. This is one of the pieces that folded, and I'm just tucking it behind there. I'm going to glue it, and it'll give me another pop of pink in a different shade, which gives me some variation and brings out the hot pink in the World's Greatest Mom. So I've got the lighter pink at the back on the right side, and then the brighter pink or darker pink on the left, and that really pops out those two colors. Yeah. And then I just need to find something after I get this smoothed out. I just need to find something to put there on top of that pink. So I'm going to my ephemera and scrap journal, which I created in a series here on my channel. So I'll link that in the iCard across the screen for you guys. And then yeah, I'm just going to use oh yeah, I didn't put this on the pink part yet. I'm putting this on the little pop-up card. So this was just a scrap that I got from my friend John Rush, who's on YouTube. It is from, I can't remember who, Cocoa Daisy. He has a subscription to Cocoa Daisy. So I'm just going to put that on there. I think that looks really pretty. And you know, flowers and Mother's Day go hand in hand sometimes anyway. And so now I'm going to look for something to put on the little hot pink part. And I think I want something that's green. Oh, but first I decided to tag or staple something on the side that's a tag. It's a little scrap of fabric from one of my Dollar Tree DIYs that I did a series as well, and that was making a traveler's notebook using some Dollar Tree fabric placemats. And now I think I'm looking for the scrap to go over the hot pink part, so I should be finding that. Yeah, and that's actually a little piece of ephemera from a paper pad, and it's a nice green color. And so I'm going to put that onto the pink, and I think it will look really nice. Yeah, so just kind of making it stick out a little bit. Yeah, I think that blends really well. And then I'm turning over the card for my husband when I realized, you know, I can show this part. Okay, so now I'm looking for another scrap, and I can't remember what scrap I'm looking for now. Okay, there we go, a little piece of a doily that I had a little scrap of, and I'm going to glue that in that little space, but I felt like I need some color for the background first. So I'm using a Tombow dual brush pen in a green color, and I'm just going to color where I know I need to get coverage. So yeah, so I'm just going to start up there at the top, and I'm not going to take the card out. I'm just going to go as far as I need to go that won't be visible when the card is taken out. Oh, and my son wanted to show us that he made a chocolate cheesecake. That's what that is. Yeah, it was really good. It cracked, and he was disappointed in that, but you know, I don't care if it cracked. He put a ganache on the top. Nobody could ever see it, and it was delicious. Okay, so now I'm going ahead and coloring in that section right there. Yeah, and then I can put the doily, and I think it will look really nice with that pop of color. So put the card back in there, and then I'm going to use I felt like the best way to do it was to use a glue stick to do this, because liquid glue would just take longer to dry and might get stuck to the other stuff. So I'm going to put this on there, and then I'm just going to stick my bone folder in the space where the pocket is to let that doily dry without it sticking to this little pocket here. So I just, of course, needed to use my bone folder to help smooth it down a little bit first. So yeah, now that can dry. And then I know coming up I lost a little bit of footage, and I apologize for that, but most everything is in here. So what am I doing right here? Oh yeah, so here on the bottom on another page, because this section of pages is shorter than the next section, but this was going to be visible right here, so I wanted to put something here. So I'm putting a scrap here of some green vintage looking paper, and then that way whenever you look at the spread that I'm working on, it will look like, you know, it was just all part of the whole deal, and there's not a lot of extra white space there at the bottom. Yeah, and then this is going to go in the top left hand corner, but you won't see me do that, but here we go. So here's the finished piece. I wrote motherhood in 2020 there at the top left, and there in the top right I wrote down about the whole month of May and all the different fun things that happened and how important that month is for me, with Mother's Day, Memorial Day, our wedding anniversary, the college graduations, high school graduations, and all that good stuff. Well, that's it for today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe and share and comment. It really helps my channel a lot. Also, if you want to check me out with all of my beautiful photos of my creative ventures and adventures, just go to @OrganizedPlannerChic on Instagram and follow me there. And then I have 2 Facebook groups. The one for anyone around the world is called Organized Planner Chic Crew, and there we do giveaways, and we try to stay in touch just about every day with all different types of posts and videos. And then the local Facebook group is called Phoenix Planner Friends for Christ. We normally meet in person once a month, but because of COVID-19, we're doing everything on Facebook. And then if you're interested in supporting me on Patreon, just go to patreon.com/organizedplannerchic. And until next time, happy planning!